keeping the emotional love tank full is as important to a marriage as maintaining the proper oil level to an automobile. My dear, a lot of people think that, oh, I've already married him, I've already married her, so what's next? My dear, if you do not keep your partner's emotional tank full, it is just compared to us running a car without changing the engine oil, and one day the car will break down. That is why love language is very important in every relationship. Hey guys, I welcome you back to my channel. I'm so excited you are here with me. So today we want to be talking about the 5 love languages. We'll be going through this book by Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts. So last week a lady contacted me and she spoke a lot. She has been married for 2 years. She dated her guy for 6 years, and in her marriage she's not happy. Her husband is not buying her gifts. On her birthday, no. On Mother's Day, no. On Christmas, no. On Valentine's Day, nothing. And to her, when she goes through her husband's wardrobe, everything that is in the wardrobe, she thinks that she bought about 90% of those things. But she can't pinpoint one thing of hers and say, this thing, my husband bought it for me. And so she was feeling unloved. She was feeling desperate, and she felt that she couldn't be in the marriage again. And then I realized that this thing has to do with her love language. Her husband is not speaking her love language to her, but she is speaking her love language to her husband. So this is a book I've read more than 5 times. Just recently I read it again within 2 days, and I want to go through it with you. Just be looking at the important points, we talk about it, and I hope that by the time we finish this video, you would have known your love language, you'd have known your partner's love language, and you have learned how to speak your partner's love language. So if you are interested, then you definitely have to keep on watching. So the beginning of this book, Gary Chapman writes that what happens to love after the wedding. So you know, when you are about to get married, you are so excited, you so love your partner, you so love your spouse, and then after marriage, a year or two, you feel that the love that you felt when you married him or her is diminishing, and that you feel that, did I even love this person in the first place? Yes, you loved him or her, but the love has not vanished. No, the love is there, but that kind of love you felt before you got into the marriage has changed a little, and Gary Chapman talks about it in this book. Chapter 1, Gary Chapman talks to us about an encounter he had with someone in the plane, and the person was asking him what happens to love after marriage, because he has been married 3 times and he still feels that after marriage the love vanishes. Gary explained it to him that it is not that the love vanished, but then the love he felt before marriage changed a bit when he married. In chapter 2, he talks about keeping the love tank full. So he says that love is the most important word in the English language and the most confusing. Someone will say, I love hot dogs. Someone will say, I love my mother. Someone will say, I love swimming. I love skiing. I love hunting. We even say, I love food. I love cars. And so the purpose of this book is not to eliminate all the confusion surrounding the word love, but he focused on the kind of love that is essential to our emotional benefits. And so Gary says that at the heart of humankind's existence is the desire to be intimate and to be loved by another. Marriage is designed to meet that need of intimacy and love. That is why the ancient biblical writings spoke of the husband and the wife becoming one flesh. That did not mean that individuals would lose their identity. It just meant that they would enter into each other's lives in a deep and intimate way. So in a way, everyone wants to be loved. Everyone has something inside us that we feel it when people show us real love, my dear. It will cost you your marriage if you decide to take your partner for granted. You decide not to go into your partner's love language. You decide not to speak your partner's love language. So we'll be looking at the various love languages as we go on. So when you meet someone, you feel so loved. You see that euphoric kind of love where you don't even want to sleep without talking to the person. You don't even want to eat without talking to the person. But you realize that as time goes on, that love is diminishing. Yes, it should, because if it doesn't, you don't see, at that point, you don't see anything more important than the person you are in love with. If care is not taken, you're not even cook, you're not even bath. You want to stand on the phone with the person for 24/7. But there is another love that Gary talks about, and I agree with him. Listen, he says, research seems to indicate that there is a third and a better alternative. We can recognize the in-love experience for what it was, that is a temporary emotional level, and now pursue the real love with our spouse. That kind of love is emotional in nature, but not obsessional. It is a love that unites reason and emotion. It involves an act of the will and requires discipline, and it recognizes the need for personal growth. Our most basic emotional need is not to fall in love, but to be genuinely loved by another, to know a love that grows out of reason and choice, not instinct. I need to be loved by someone who chooses to love me, who sees me in something worth loving. So it's not about I feel I love you. No, it's about a choice. Yes, the feeling is there, but you still decide that this is the person I want to be with. That is the decisional kind of love, that I choose to love you. Even if I don't feel I love you, I still choose to be with you. So let's start with the love language. The first love language is words of affirmation. One way to express love emotionally is to use words that build up. Solomon, the author of the ancient Hebrew wisdom literature, wrote, "The tongue that has the power of life and death." So it means that this tongue can make your partner feel loved and it can make your partner feel unloved. Verbal compliments or words of appreciation are very powerful communicators of love. There are people who want to hear your love for them. Their love language is words of affirmation. And so when you are with such a people, but I love you, even if I don't say it, that is all, my dear. No, that is not all. His or her emotional tank is going to be empty. One way that you can show words of affirmation is through compliments, where you compliment the person genuinely, not that you just want to compliment the person because you are supposed to. Compliment is important. Encouraging words is important. And these are dialects. You see, with every language, you have a dialect. So for instance, when you come to my part of the world, we have Akan. But with Akan, we have Asantipi, we have Fanti, we have Epiapem, yes. And so, yes, the love language is words of affirmation. But how do you express these words of affirmation? One is a compliment, two is encouraging words. You see, the word encourage means to inspire courage. All of us have areas in which we feel insecure. We lack courage, and that of courage often hinders us from accomplishing the positive things that we would like to do. I was listening to a lady and she said she was going to work at dawn. She felt so lazy, she felt so tired. Her husband woke up, held her hand and told her that, "Babes, I believe in you. You're a strong woman. I know you can do this." And she felt so motivated. Like she said, "How I even got to the office, I have no idea." Those statements, those encouraging words from the partner made her feel loved, made her feel she could do more. So at any point in our lives, there are things that we feel that we are not so much up to. But when we have sincere words, sincere encouraging words from our partners, it motivates us to do more. Another way of speaking the language of words of affirmation is using of kind words. Love is kind. If then we are to communicate love verbally, we must use kind words. This has to do with the way we speak. You don't have to be rude to your partner. When you use kind words for your partner, it makes your partner feel secured in the relationship and in the marriage. Another way is the use of humble words. My dear, love makes requests, not demands. And so when you want your partner to do something for you, you genuinely request. You don't demand. And you have to do this. If you don't do this, I don't do that. No. You don't do it that way. Love is supposed to be requesting and not demanding. So let's go on to the second love language, which is quality time. By quality time, I mean giving someone your undivided attention. I mean it's sitting on the couch with the TV off, looking at each other and talking, devices put away, giving each other your undivided attention. Now, couples are there. I'm on my phone, you are on your phone, we are watching TV. That is not quality time. Quality time is when I put everything aside and I decide to be with you. And you can do that by giving the person your focused attention, especially in the area of many distractions. As I said, now there are lots of distractions in this world, but you have to make conscious effort to give your partner quality time. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. You can also do this by having quality conversation. Words of affirmation focus on what we are saying, whereas quality conversation focuses on what we are hearing. So, yes, I am talking. Yes, my love language is words of affirmation, so I'm talking. But if you don't give me your undivided attention, if you don't give me your focused attention, if you don't listen to me, I will talk, and nothing will be accomplished. So, you also give me your undivided attention, and then you also learn how to talk. All this has to do with spending quality time. If I want to talk, I also expect you to talk. You talk to me. Tell me, let's have an honest, open conversation. And then you also have to learn how to do quality activities together. If we want to be spending quality time together, what are we doing? We can't just be sitting there looking at ourselves. We can't always be talking. Sometimes you watch movies together, you go for a walk, you do indoor games, you play Ludo, you play Owari, do activities together with your partner whose love language is quality time. The next love language I want to talk about is receiving of gifts. So clearly this woman who came to me the last time had the love language of receiving of gifts. And so when your partner's love language is receiving of gifts, it doesn't matter the price of the gift. It can be expensive, it can be less expensive. Some of them you can even get them for free. But then give the person something. You're coming from work, babes, I saw this fruit juice, I wanted to buy it for you. She'll be happy. Babes, I saw this shirt, I wanted to buy it for you. He will be happy. If his or her love language has to do with gifts, my dear, just get him or her something more often. And sometimes you might be wondering, where do I start from? What do I buy for him or her? Please make a list of the things he or she has shown interest in. Maybe once a while say, if I'm able to buy this thing, how I'll be happy. If I'm able to get this thing, how I'll be happy. Then you just sit down. The next time when you want to buy him or her a gift, you can concentrate on that thing and buy it for him. The next love language you want to be talking about is acts of service. So acts of service has to do with actions such as cooking a meal, setting a table, emptying the dishwasher, changing the baby's diaper. In fact, this has to do with when your partner is doing household chores, you decide to help the person. You decide to fix her car for her. You decide to wash her car for her. Just you do something for her. You say, oh, I know my husband loves me. I know my wife loves me because she cooks for me. She does these things for me. When the person's love language is acts of service, these are the things that makes the person happy. The last love language is physical touch. And you know that physical touch is a way of communicating emotional love. And I mean, physical touch can portray love. It can also portray hate. When you decide to hate the person, that is not the kind of touch that I mean, but that's sensational touch where you hold the person's hand when you're watching a movie together, the person wants to put his head on your lap, you be in the kitchen cooking, he or she will be passing and he just hit you on the ass like that. Yes, these are the 5 love languages that Gary Champman talks about in his book. Now the question is that what is your primary love language? What makes you feel most loved by your spouse? What do you desire above all else? If the answer to those questions does not leap to your mind immediately, perhaps it will help you to look at the negative use of love language. What does your spouse do or say or fail to do or say that hurts you deeply? If you are able to answer these questions, it will help you know your love language. What is this thing that you've been complaining about so much? What is this particular thing that you really wish that he does for you? That is your love language. Now, everybody, you can have more than one love language, but then you see that one is primary, one is secondary, one is intense, and the other, it's normal for you. How do you know your partner's love language? In the same way, what is this thing that your partner has been complaining about so much? Concentrate on that. You see, when you take your partner's love language for granted, as I said, it makes them feel emotionally empty and it might ruin your relationship or your marriage. So please, ask yourself these questions. Get to know your love language. Get to know your partner's love language and make conscious effort to speak with them. You can get a copy of this book to read. You can buy it, I think, in any other bookshop, or you can also go to Google PDF and download it and read. It is very good. It will help you in your relationship, and most of the relationship problems will be solved when you take this thing serious. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. My name is Nyame. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that, and I'll see you in the next video. Nyame nka ho.